Many thanks for joining us on ASO TV News at this hour. I am Joy Annie. We do apologize for bringing the news to you a bit behind schedule, but let's take you through the headlines. FCTA denies allocating land to Minister Wike's children. Federal government sets August 1st deadline for visa overstayers, launches amnesty portal. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu empowers ICRC on effective implementation of PPP projects as MDAs get approval of 20 billion naira threshold. Let's take you straight to the news, where the Federal Capital Territory Administration, FCTA, has once again debunked allegation of land allocation to children of the FCT Minister, Barrister Nyesom Wike. In a statement issued today, Tuesday, the Minister's Senior Special Assistant on Public Relations and Communication and Social Media, Lewe Olayinka, dismissed the claims as another failed attempt at blackmail. Olayinka explained that recent reports suggesting Wike allocated 2,082 hectares in Maitama and Asokoro to one of his sons were based on misinformation. He clarified that the reference document involved a land allocation in Buari Area Council of JOAQ Farms, not to any individual related to the minister. He also noted that the combined available land in the Maitama and Asokoro district does not amount to 2,082 hectares of land. He further disclosed and addressed now the new claims linking another son of the minister to land allegedly allocated to a company named Jordan Farms and Estates Limited. According to him, while the company was legally allocated land, none of Wike's children is listed as a director and corporate head, or records are publicly available at the Corporate Affairs Commission. Olayinka emphasized that, like all Nigerians, the minister's children and associates are entitled to own land in the FCT if they follow due process. However, he insisted that no land has been allocated to any of Wike's children so far, describing the allocation as politically motivated, and said the attempts were linked to opposition against Wike's support for power rotation between North and South. He challenged those behind the report to publish the real owners of the companies mentioned, asserting that a campaign of falsehood has failed before it even began. Now, the NUJ FCT chairman, Comrade Grace Ike, has pledged to implement a health insurance package, including free monthly health checks for members to help them stay informed on their health status. Comrade Grace Ike gave the assurance during a medical outreach organized by the FCT NUJ Council in collaboration with Nizamiya Hospital, with the aim to provide free health checkups for journalists in Abuja. Let's join Elizabeth Kasham for more.
The FCT NUJ chair, Comrade Grace Ike, while receiving the representative of the Chief of Defense Staff, General Christopher Musa, who was present to show support, noted that journalists rarely have time to prioritize their own well-being.
Everything possible. It is our desire to see how we can get health insurance for our members. So with the outcome of the various tests that will be conducted today, we will definitely know which of the health insurance scheme we will embark on to assist members who can barely, go to the hospital or barely afford the fund to take care of themselves. So I'm happy that members are turning out en masse for this project. I'm happy that the doctors are here, the team of doctors from Nizamiya Hospital are here to also check our members. And this is not the last. We will continue to do this to make sure that we put smiles on the faces of our members.
Representative of the CDS, Director Medical Services Defense Headquarters, Surgeon Commodore Momo Salihu, commended the NUJ FCT Council and Nizamiya Hospital for the laudable initiative and assured that the armed forces will continue to support journalists in their vital role.
There's already an ongoing collaboration between the NUJ and the Armed Forces of Nigeria, and we've been doing that, continuously, and it's expected. Anytime there's a need for us to either support you in any form, we will always be available to support you.
And speaking during the exercise, Deputy Medical Director of Nizamiya Hospital, Dr. Nirela Sadiku, stated that the health checkups will enable follow-up care for journalists and help them adopt preventive measures to safeguard their well-being.
At the moment, we came here to general screening. Your staff and these journalists they may have any problem or not. This is the first stage. After identifying their sickness and diseases, we will take to another step, which is in the hospital level. So, in some patients may need further investigations and diagnostic tests. Some of your patients may have the surgical treatment. So, after finishing the management, we'll come to the conclusion.
Over 300 journalists participated in the medical outreach held at the NUJ FCT Secretariat Utaku, where health screening revealed a prevalence of high blood pressure and blood sugar levels, among other diseases. Elizabeth Kasham, ASO Television News.
Now, the House of Representatives Ad Hoc Committee to investigate the implementation of the compressed natural gas, the CNG policy in the country, is to engage relevant agencies of government, international oil companies, and other organizations to ensure that the national and the nation's policy on CNG meets global best practices. The chairman, Mr. Ahmadu Usman Jahar, speaking at the inauguration of the committee in Abuja, said mandate of the committee includes assessing the safety, viability and sustainability of the CNG policy in Nigeria. According to him, the committee is to ensure that the executive arm of government establish CNG centers equitably across the country to give all Nigerians a sense of belonging. The lawmaker added the committee is to determine the adequacy of existing regulatory and legal frameworks governing the implementation of the CNG policy and recommend appropriate legislative measures. The House had during plenary in May this year considered and adopted a motion on call to establish more compressed natural gas conversion centers across Nigeria. Away to Abaji now, the Abaji chairman, Area Council, Alhaji Abubakar Umar Abdullahi, has announced the appointment of new supervisory councillors and senior special advisors to his office. This development marks a significant step in his administration's effort to strengthen governance and service delivery in the council. A statement issued by the chairman, Chief Press Secretary, Comrade Abu Muhammad, said among the newly appointed supervisory councillors are Bashir Musa Works, Southeast Ward, Abdulkadir Yahya Health, Alu Mamagi Ward, and Musa Isa Environment, Yaba Ward. Others are Aisha Sada Education, Northeast Ward, Abdul Rashid Muhammad, Special Duties, Central Ward, while Yakubu Muhammad is the supervisory councillor for Agriculture, Gawu Ward. The senior special advisors to the chairman, according to the statement, Abdul Ghani Olawale, Political Matters, Northeast Ward, Laruba Local Women Affairs, Central Ward, Ndako Muhammad, Natural Disaster, Rimba and Ebagi Ward, and Mukhtar Gambo, Security, Nuku Ward. Others are Alpha Tanko, Primary Health Care, Sabongari Ward, and Marcos Mali Musa, Development Goal, Agiana Padangi Ward. Also, Joy Baba has also been appointed as the Women Development Officer representing the Northeast Ward. Alhaji Abubakar Abdullahi congratulates all the appointees on their new roles and wishes them success as they contribute to the development of Abadi Area Council. Moving on now, Honorable Usman Jia has called on his supporters to remain peaceful and calm following the outcome of the recent APC primaries in Kwali Area Council. He said an aspirant in the primaries made this appeal while addressing his supporters in Kwali. Correspondent Abdullahi Mukhtar has the story.
Honorable Usman Jia stated that the meeting's purpose was to discuss the primaries outcome and urge his followers to maintain peace. He rejected the primaries outcome, claiming that there was no legitimate APC primary in Kwali as far as he and his supporters were concerned. He promised to fight for their mandate and called on the national leadership of the party to revisit the primaries for justice and fairness.
The party set up a consensus committee and came up with a result. They should revisit this report. That is where we can be happy. Even if it's not us, by the time they follow the processes, we can be happy. and said, no, process has been done. But not this one that just came from nowhere and said he has declared as a candidate. It's not true.
Jia expressed his willingness to abide by the party leadership's decision, hoping for a fair resolution.
APC as a party is now informed, because from what we are hearing, they are trying to see how they can settle problems within the party. So we have much confidence in them. And by the special grace of God, whatever comes out from national and to the state, we will abide by it. But there must be justice and fairness.
Former Kwali Area Council Chairman Honorable Jibrun Zubairu Yewuti and other Jia campaign team supporters echoes Jia's call for peace, awaiting direction from the National Secretariat of the party.
The people that gather in this ward, the majority are in support of Ousmane Jia. And clearly he has won the primary. This gathering you are seeing today, we are here to declare ourselves that mandate they should bring the mandate back to Ousmane Jia, because he is the winner.
My message is to our leaders, as far as FCT concerned, APC. I want the leader to look into the matter, that this APC is one family.
We knew how we vote for him, and so for that, we don't want violence, but rather our mandate should be given to us, which is Honorable Ousmane Jia.
APC primaries were conducted last Wednesday in the 6 area councils in preparation for the upcoming FCT area councils elections. Most flag bearers emerged through consensus, but Jia's supporters are contesting the outcome in Kwali. Abdullahi Mukhtar, ASO Television News.
The federal government has set August 1st, 2025 as deadline for all foreigners who have overstayed their visas in Nigeria to regularize their stay or face strict penalties, including re-entry bans of up to 10 years. To facilitate voluntary compliance, the Minister of Interior, Dr. Olubunmi Tunjiojo, has launched an online immigration amnesty portal that will be active throughout July. The Interior Minister disclosed this Monday during a stakeholder sensitization session at the Nigeria Immigration Service headquarters in Abuja. He urged members of the diplomatic corps to advise their nationals accordingly. Speaking on border immigration reforms, the minister reveals that Nigeria's newly introduced e-visa system has processed over 14,000 applications within 6 weeks of its rollout. He said the initiative, along the ongoing e-passport automation, which began in January 2024, is designed to curb corruption and enhance service delivery. Moving on now. The Young Progressive Party, YPP, in Gwagwalada Area Council of the Federal Capital Territory has held what it described as a free, fair and credible primary election to select its candidate for the forthcoming council election. The chairman, YPP in Gwagwalada, Comrade Mayor Samuel, said the party was determined to exhibit transparency in the process of electing leaders. He said the just concluded primary in Gwagwalada was credible and adjudged the freest. The chairman, YPP in Gwagwalada, Comrade Mayor Samuel, said the party would just conclude primary. The chairmanship candidate, Honorable Atahiru Shehu Ibrahim, promised to prioritize security, education, women empowerment and grassroots development if elected. He said he has observed that Gwagwalada is lagging behind among the 6 area councils in the FCT and promised to work closely with security agencies to improve safety. He said he would take women empowerment as his top priority, and candidates who emerged during the primaries included Mrs. Ibitomi St. Christian Abose, the only female candidate who clinched the party's ticket for councillor representing Gwakode Ward. Abosede, who is campaigning on a platform of education, health and support for farmers, said her focus is on helping the less privileged. You're watching ASO Television News. You're live on DSTV, channel 392. Also on StarTimes TV, channel 127, and Free TV, channel 507. We're also on the UHF band on channel 38. Now still to come on the news. The Ministry of Aviation and Aerospace Development, in collaboration with the Nigerian Air Force, is inaugurating a joint committee to finalize plan for Nigeria's first ever international air show. To stay with us.
We were warned about this marriage. Because we did not listen, the young maiden is dead.
Nana, come here. Hi. Why do you speak so freely with a stranger from Ajani?
We were just talking about offering Ojigijage a seat on the council.
May God be praised. Negodo Nselko Sisi, he has 2 wives. So why are you making it look like it is a big deal?
Many thanks for staying there. Now, the aviation safety took center stage in Abuja as the Banjul Accord Group Aviation Safety Oversight Organization, the BAGASO, held its first ever safety conference marking 15 years of regional safety collaboration. The 2-day conference in Abuja, which ends July 1st, brought together aviation regulators, experts and stakeholders from across West and Central Africa and beyond. Declaring the event open, Aviation Minister Festus Keyamo, represented by the ministry's permanent secretary, applauded BAGASO's leadership in strengthening safety oversight and regulatory alignment across the region. BAGASO's executive director, Jailsa Soraya, expressed gratitude to member states and highlighted the organization's progress in harmonized regulation and capacity building, calling for deeper collaboration. Also speaking, the AFCAC's Secretary General, Adefunke Adeyemi, lauded BAGASO's role in building a safer, more integrated African airspace, urging continued support for the single African air transport market. The conference featured high-level discussions on safety audit, regulatory harmonization, and the future of Africa aviation, with input for aviation leaders and international bodies like the EASA, the FCCs, and the NCAA. Moving on, the Ministry of Aviation and Aerospace Development, in collaboration with the Nigerian Air Force, has inaugurated a joint committee to finalize plan for Nigeria's first ever international air show set to take place this December. The ministry's head press and public affairs, Odutayo Oluseyi, said at a meeting in Abuja that the ministry permanent secretary, Dr. Ibrahim Kana, emphasized the importance of strong civil-military collaboration to ensure the success of the event. Dr. Kana highlighted key components of the air show, including an air display by the Air Force and a ceremonial parade for the president and visiting dignitaries. The statement adds that the committee will also work on selecting a venue and engaging global aviation stakeholders. The exhibition is expected to attract major civil and defense aviation companies, boosting businesses, tourism, and national prestige. Chief of Air Staff, Air Marshal Hassan Abubakar, assured full support, describing the event as a national pride that will showcase Nigeria's aviation capacity and economic potential. Now, the 5-man panel of the Supreme Court, led by Justice Wani Musa Abba Abji, has unanimously thrown out the motion of notice filed by Barrister Emmanuel Okebo Esquire, the lead counsel to the applicant in case between the Chartered Institute of Project Managers of Nigeria, the CIPMN, and Dr. Victoria Okoronkwo versus Professor Cyprian Edward Ekpo and others, requesting a stay of execution and interlocutory order in defense to the procurement of the appellate court. Citing what he described as an abuse of the judicial process, the court awarded a punitive sum of 1 million naira to the respondent. Daniel Obi has the details.
Pending further judicial pronouncements on the substantive matter by the trial court, the judgment of the Apex Court effectively strips off the appellants and its other substitutive bodies any legal latitude to parade or present itself as the authentic body of the Chartered Institute of Project Managers of Nigeria, CIPMN, an issue that the respondent has already taken up with the law enforcement authorities. Requesting the reaction of the counsel to the appellants on the pronouncements of the courts, the counsel politely turns down these requests to voice his reactions to newsmen. Meanwhile, counsel to the respondents, Dr. Ibrahim Yal Mukhtar, had this to say regarding the decisions of the courts.
I'm very happy. This was expected because the position of the law is very clear on issues of this nature. So I'm happy to see that justice has been served. And, you know, like we said, you can only delay justice by your technicalities, but certainly you cannot completely, you know, prevent justice from taking its course.
The leadership of the Chartered Institute of Project Managers, CIPMN, led by its president, Dr. Jamilu Issa Yankwashi, applauded the entire judicial process while mocking the appellant's disingenuous attempts at relying on technicalities just to buy time, as it has no case to present. Dr. Yankwashi expressed willingness at a harmonious resolution of issues only within the foundation of the established facts of the law.
I just wanted to use this opportunity to call on the general public to see that Dr. Mrs. Victoria Ihe Kerema Okoronko, Harry Ifeanyi Mbadiwe and his gang were just imposters and impersonating the leadership of the CIPM Institute. They are issuing fake certificates because they are not the rightful leadership of the CIPM Institute. They have no authority to do that under the law. The way forward is that we are very ready to ensure that the project management profession has given the desired place in the Federal Republic of Nigeria to ensure that no quack is allowed to manage projects.
We have seen it all today that justice has been served. The rule of law must be followed. Nobody is above the law. So we have seen it all and it must be followed suit.
Established by the Act of 2018, the Chartered Institute of Project Managers of Nigeria, CIPMN, is an agency with the sole responsibility to regulate, license, supervise, train, certify, and standardize project management professionals in Nigeria. Daniel Obi, ASO Television News.
Now, still on judicial matters, the Community Court of Justice, ECOWAS, has commenced a validation workshop on draft head notes for its 2021 to 2024 law report in Abuja, Nigeria. The workshop aims to ensure the accuracy and clarity of the court's judgment and reasoning. Chief Registrar Dr. Yauza Ora Sama emphasized the importance of law reports in strengthening judicial transparency, access to justice, and promoting legal certainties. Now, Registrar Mrs. Mari Sani pointed that the accurate head notes in guiding judges, lawyers, and researchers is critical via court's jurisprudence, as it seeks to promote consistency in editorial standards, enhance collaboration, and improve internal processes. The 8-day workshop held at the ECOWAS Parliament in Abuja aims to finalizing the head notes for inclusion in the forthcoming volumes of the ECOWAS Court Law Report. Attendees are registrars, legal officers, and technical staff to review and finalize head notes from judgments delivered between 2021 and 2024. Still on ECOWAS, the ECOWAS Parliament has reaffirmed its commitment to advancing digital transformation in West Africa's education sector. Speaking at a meeting in Dakar, Senegal, the Speaker of the ECOWAS Parliament emphasized the importance of education, technology, and innovation in shaping the region's future.
The
theme of our meeting, prioritizing education, technology and innovation in the CWA space, is not only timely but also of paramount importance for the future of the education sector and for the economic and social development of our region.
The meeting, themed Prioritizing Education, Technology and Innovation in ECOWAS region, noted significant progress since the adoption of the Protocol AP3103 on education and training in 2003. However, lingering challenges such as poor infrastructure and unequal access to digital tools were also acknowledged. The parliamentarians stressed the need for a unified response to digital transformation, citing Africa's fast expanding tech scene with over 1,000 startups and $3.4 billion raised in 2020 alone. The meeting is expected to produce recommendations for adoption across ECOWAS member states. Meanwhile, Senegal's Minister of National Education, Mustafa Mamba Goussari, has called on African countries to become creators and regulators of artificial intelligence, AI, rooted in African values. He emphasized that Africa must not just consume AI, but instill its wisdom, memory, and vision into the technology.
Indeed, the ECOWAS, with a young and dynamic population, rich and diverse culture, and booming economies, is at a crossroad in the field of education.
Goussari proposed a regional West African pact to guide the ethical and inclusive use of AI in education, built on 6 pillars, including a regional, ethical character, and shared digital resources. The meeting highlighted the need for West Africa to develop homegrown solutions and a strong legal framework for AI. Now moving on, it was all buoyant smiles and good tidings as the class of 2025 of Pacesetter Schools, Abuja, was pronounced graduates. In a ceremony that brought together dignitaries from across the various walks of life to celebrate the achievement of the graduating student. Daniel Obi has that report.
By the powers conferred on me by the Governing Council of Pacesetter Schools, I, Mrs. Kate Maswano, on this 29th day of June 2025, hereby pronounce you
Serving as the father of the day, Alhaji Atiku Abubakar, the former vice president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, praised the school's chairman, Barrister Kenneth Imasombo, for his unwavering service to humanity.
Well, my love for Pacesetters, stems from the love the founder of Pacesetters has for education. If there is anything that I admire in him, is his investment in education.
Barrister Kenneth Imasombo and his wife, Kate, emphasized that Pacesetter School aimed to raise future leaders, equipping students with the necessary skills and mindsets to positively impact their communities.
For me, I'm going to live the rest of my life innovating, putting Nigeria first. It doesn't even matter the time you wear. The time is a time. What matters is the contribution you give. We had a dream long ago in the formation and foundation of Pacesetters, where the stars around the logo, where you have the PS and all the stars all around it. We want to actually be stars as students, stepping in the lead academically, socially, and morally. And today, we're very happy to see our dream come to life.
Some of the graduating students and their parents expressed excitement on the remarkable occasion.
Yeah, I feel very elated, I feel very joyful, excited. Man, today is one of the great days in my life.
The school is amazing. The best school in the world. Thank you.
It's a very wonderful school. It's been a wonderful experience. It helped me grow and learn as a person, become a better person for the society, to contribute to the society and the country as well.
The event climaxed with a special award presented specially by Alhaji Atiku Abubakar to Mrs. Elizabeth Imasombo, mother of the school's chairman, as well as other deserving Nigerians in recognition of their support and legacies over the years. Daniel Obi, ASO Television News.
Away to business now. As part of plans to achieving the renewed hope agenda towards accelerating Nigeria's infrastructure revolution, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has empowered the Infrastructure Concession Regulatory Commission, the ICRC, for effective service delivery under the Public-Private Partnership, the PPP engagement. The ICRC, in a press statement, indicates that the latest development comes on the heels of President Tinubu's The ICRC, in a press statement, indicates that the latest development comes on the heels of President Tinubu's declaration at the just concluded Nigeria PPP Summit the 2025, stressing that his administration was strengthening the ICRC as the engine room of Nigeria's infrastructure revolution. The statement acknowledged that consequently the president approved new PPP threshold for ministries, departments and agencies, the NDAs, to implement a more efficient and better streamlined project delivery processes. It added that by this new policy, the authorization process has been decentralized to allow MDAs approve project below specified threshold on the ICRC guidelines, thereby supporting a scale of project and encouraging broader private sector investment in PPPs. Speaking on the presidential approval, Director General of the ICRC, Dr. Jobson Osedion Ewalefo, explained that under the new directive, PPP projects valued below 10 billion naira for parastatals agencies and 20 billion naira for ministries will now be approved by respective project approval boards, that's the BAPs, that was constituted under ICRC guidelines and regulations. The ICRC further highlighted that only projects exceeding these thresholds or those involving multiple ministries and requiring interagencies coordination that will require FEC approval. It also said that in the statement. Well, that's the news. Thanks for watching. I am Joy Annie. Have a good day ahead.